You have spoken about the plans, but the people who are watching are wondering, before today, before 2019 occurred, what have you done for them? And let me begin with the lady again, because it's not just about what you want to do, but what you have done for them. Then I'll get back to that conversation. Okay. What have you done for Kibra?
Thank you. I vied in 2017.
Oh, you also vied?
Yes, I did.
You should have told us that so that we correct it. Yes.
Okay, I'm telling you now. I vied on a Jubilee ticket, and I had a manifesto. I had a manifesto whereby the third article...
Pork, it was like pork in a mosque. 2017.
Okay. The third article within my manifesto was actually water sanitation and environmental conservation. So immediately, as politicians, as you all know, the votes are usually not enough. We are not defeated. As politicians, the votes usually is not enough. When the votes were not enough, I decided to come back to the community and do what I love the most, environmental matters. So since 2018, I've been on environmental conservation in Kibra. That is when I started cleanups and growing trees, not planting trees, growing trees within the schools, within the spaces within Kibra, and actually training people on climate change.
Okay.
Yes, action. So that is what I've been doing. I have an organization of which I decided to rope in women. Because women are, okay, I don't want to be biased, I'm a woman and a mother for that matter, but a majority of waste is usually produced from the kitchen level. Okay. So if at all women are not going to be engaged on solid waste management, they'll be left out, and by the end of the day, the youths will actually be coming outside the home to pick up the waste. So that is why I roped in the women to actually take charge of the waste management in Kibra.
Okay.
So that is what I've been doing all through.
How big was the intervention? How big was what you were doing for Kibra? How big was it? Was it felt across Kibra?
It was really felt,
okay,
to the level that I actually got some of the awards. I got the IANA award on community service category in Kibra. I had an opportunity to actually represent my country and even my team to the COP24 forum in Poland, Warsaw, on climate change.
That's on a personal level, yes, or because of what you did for Kibra?
Because of what I did
for Kibra.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yes.
So thank you, Bonamiju.
Ramadan. Yes, now I get it.
I have a long history with Kibra, yes, first of all.
Just make it really short but very concrete. Yes.
I remember when I graduated from the university, 2008. That's when I graduated from JKU. I stayed in Lindi and I worked on Ngong Road. So I developed a program of tuition to Karanja. There's a school, there's a secondary school on Karanja Road where I would pass in the evening. You can call those teachers and ask them. I would pass there and tutor students in mathematics for free. I didn't do it for money. It was not a consultant job or payment job. I did it for free. That is number one. Number two, I was employed by government under Kura, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and I was in charge of Langata area plus Ngong Road. The tarmac you see in Kibra today, from Lokots to Makina Mosque to Lindi to Hairas, and then from Kambimuru to Mashimoni to Hairas, that is a project that I pioneered myself together with Mheshimiwa Gore. Then he was the councillor. I pushed. Before then, people didn't know that roads were supposed to be in Kibra, but I was sitting at the table of management and decision making. Okay. I made that decision deliberately to benefit people of Kibra with tarmac.
Okay. Number
three, I work within Nairobi and outside Nairobi in road sector and a building sector. Whenever there is any opportunity, you can ask those boys who do Mijengo in Kibra. Whenever there is any opportunity for apprentice job or a casual job outside Nairobi, I come to Kibra and pick from a pool of Kibra youth whom I take for job. This has been going on. Even right now, we have 20 who are already out of Kibra working on a project.
Okay.
I've never looked elsewhere when there is an opportunity in the building sector.
Okay.
So in summary, those are things I've done. Okay. I was also a pioneer of a group called Al Bayan group within Lindi, which is a social group that makes sure that the young ones who are not privileged to have school fees, we've created madrasa within that Al Bayan, and also formal education from kindergarten to class 3. Okay. I was one of the founders, and we are still funding it. We want to develop it up to class 8, so that we raise upright students where they learn religion. At the same time, they're also learning about the other education, what we call dunya.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Quite some bit. Yes, Ali.
Okay. Yeah, I've directly facilitated the training of almost 1,000 youth in driving school in Nairobi. When I first got interest in helping the youth in Kibra, I sponsored, using my own personal resources, and this is in the public domain, youth to pursue driving courses, and also subsequent to that facilitate them to get employment using my little contacts as a private sector citizen. So that have done to the satisfaction of the Kibra residents. 2, I've stopped land grabbing in that constituency. I've played my part in stopping land grabbing. Land grabbing is a major challenge, especially for markets in that constituencies. There are instances where I've personally used my own resources to stand with traders in markets in that constituency to pay for litigation so that we thwart land grabbing. A case in point is the case of Toi market. If it were not for me, perhaps they would not be in that market today. That is an initiative which I'm proud of. When it comes to youth and women empowerment, I've helped many youth groups to start income generating projects, same to women. And I've also pursued a welfare program for the aged who are actually now supposed to be transitioning to the villages to be able to raise money so that they are able to come up with income generating projects in old age. So those are tangible initiatives which I've done as a private citizen, not as an employee of a government entity, as my friend Engineer Ramadan is talking about.
But you are an employee of ODM, you are getting a salary from...
I need to go to Elijah before we come to the debate on that. Elijah.
Before you move.
I will have to move. I will have to move.
There is something I wanted to...
You will come back to that to open the debate.
On the issue of land grabbing.
You will come back to that to challenge it. No, it will not escape your mind. I'll remind you. Right. But I need to be fair to Elijah to state what he has done. Then we open the debate because everyone needs to challenge what the other has done.
Yes. Okay, as I said before, I've been involved in some businesses in Kibra, and that is a transport business. And I've interacted with very many youths, and I have employed very many youths. That is direct or indirect. And then in that, I've helped people, some people in Kibra, those ones who are not able to pay for NHIF. You know, you get that there are some other people who cannot raise NHIF because it's just 500 per month. And I've helped some few people to register for NHIF, and I've paid for maybe for some months for them to just continue with that.
Give us the numbers. Also, how many people have you paid?
Around 50.
Around 50 people.
Using my own money, and I've never been employed by the government. Yeah, and then those under transport, again, have been having very many conductors who are willing to be drivers, but they don't have money. And I've paid for their driving school, and they are successful.
Yeah. All right. And if you are watching, just like Habib Omar, who's watching, and wants me to ask Eliud Owalo, how are you going to purchase the firefighting vehicles that you put up, the 5 for everyone?
First of all, let me clarify something. The CDF funding is a drop in the ocean compared to what a constituency in Nairobi needs to facilitate real change in the lives of the people. There is this notion that development within the constituency is confined to CDF. The transformation agenda I have for this constituency cannot be done using CDF funds alone.
Public funds, yes.
No. I've got wide networks, which I intend to use to tap into helping the people of Kibra.
Including by the firefight.
Yes.
Fire engines.
So one,
yes.
And this is
I just wanted that simple answer on that.
Yeah, because he says, you know, he has a wide network. And I know Owalo is a very senior citizen of this country. He's somebody who has networks, but he has not done this before. So why are you saying that once you become a member of parliament, now you use those networks to activate them? You should have used them. Number 2, on the issue of land grabbing,
yes, I
want to put him in his place. Because I've been in Kibra for the longest time. There is land that was grabbed by ODM in Lindi. And I remember when we were growing, that place used to have a lot of goats.
How do you know it was grabbed by ODM?
They built an office there.
So how do you know they grabbed it?
Yes, they grabbed it because there was a person there who used to have his goats there. They removed him from there. They put up an office, a permanent one. In fact, a storied one.
ODM, as ODM.
As ODM office. He was the strategist. I think he planned this. Number two, there are those grabbings which happened after 2007. People within Sarangombe, landlords, were evicted based on where they come from. This was done by ODM. People were evicted.
Okay.
Landlords were evicted. People took over their houses. Now, when you tell us that you've been protecting land grabbing, my friend, you are lying to people of Kibra. Because this ODM office was demolished last year when the bypass, the road that they're building from Langata Road to Ngong Road, when it came up. That's when it went down. But they had established their office, a permanent office, 2 stories, I think 1 story.
Okay, that is that. Even before you go to Elio to answer that, there's a question from you, from Nicholas Meli. He says, are you passionate about Kibra or Ikolomani?
I'm passionate about Kibra.
Not Ikolomani?
Not Ikolomani.
Okay, that answer.
Everybody comes from somewhere.
That's okay.
Yeah. First of all, I want to put it on record that I'm not holding brief for
ODM at all. I wanted to say that.
Yeah.
But he has been.
But it's your history.
He has been ODM and
give him an opportunity now.
3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. That's when he ceased to be ODM.
All right, now he's an
ANC. Yes. Can he be a good listener? And because
I'm listening.
Yes, you're a professional senior, you should listen when I'm talking.
I'm daddy in Kibra, smart as Kibra. I'm daddy.
Ramadan.
One, I wanted to go on record that I'm not here to hold brief for ODM. That is one. Two, I also want to put the record straight that I've never been employed by ODM. And that I've worked for the party leader of ODM, but as head of his presidential campaign secretariat. I've never been employed by ODM, so that should be on record. Two, issues to do with land grabbing, which he purportedly says that ODM could have gotten involved in. I'll leave that to the ODM as a party to answer and respond to. Because even when I was working for the former Prime Minister, that was not part of my brief. ODM matters was not part of my brief. I was responsible for issues to do with the presidential campaign.
But Minjungu, he just said that he has been a defender
against that's where I'm going to. That's where I'm going to.
Yeah.
I've given you a practical example where, as a private citizen in this country, I've gone ahead and helped the people of Toy Market to stop grabbing of that land. As a private citizen, not as an employee of a public entity, taking advantage of my position in that public entity to perhaps divert resources towards a given direction. I've never done that. For record also, I've never been employed by anybody in life. I've been in the private sector throughout. Now, having said that, if you give me the opportunity to talk about what I want to do for the people. One, the first thing is to streamline CDF upon being elected. We have a situation where the Constituency Development Fund Committee is full of nepotism. Relatives of the sitting MP or people from the MP's tribe. If elected, I want to ensure that there's inclusivity in the CDF so that we have got all the members of the Kibra community feeling part and parcel of that CDF. That is one. Two, on bursaries, I want to lift the level of bursaries from the current 5,000 shillings per student to 10,000 shillings per student. And I also want to do this in a sustainable manner, not giving a student bursary this term, then the following term there is no money. If we pick, for example, a student in Form 1, we should be able to train this student up to Form 4. We would rather train or facilitate the education of fewer students, but in a sustainable manner. That is two. Three, youth employment. I'll set up a TVET center, a functional, operational entity that will be training our youth and girls in technical and vocational courses. Issues like plumbing, issues like tailoring, issues like carpentry, and then we help them acquire the entrepreneurial skills and also the resources to start up businesses so that they become employers as opposed to employees of corporate entities. That is one way of alleviating the youth unemployment.
Okay.
On women empowerment, I want to establish a revolving fund using my networks so that we have got a fund from which the women of Kibra can be able to get resources, put it into their businesses, and then pay back.
Okay,